Namaste and welcome to Sonali Joshi's Astrojyotihealing. In this video, we are going to see Sun's transit into the sign of Capricorn, or this video also applies if you have Sun placed in the sign of Capricorn in your horoscope. So if you are born in the duration of say 13th or 14th of January to 13th or 14th of February, usually every year Sun transits through the sign of Makar Rashi or Capricorn. And this is a very powerful placement because Capricorn is a sign where you are supposed to take care of something in the way of be the leader, be the owner, and slowly, even though there is a stressful situation, lot of pressure, you have to move up the ladder. In a way, these are the kings who are taking care of their kingdom. So depending on which house Sun rules, which house Sun is placed, you will notice you have certain authority. Your father figures have certain authority related to that particular house and particular signification. When Sun is placed in the sign of Capricorn, obviously it comes under the influence of Saturn. That means profession, what you do, your karma, your visibility in the society, they become very important. Now Capricorn has Uttarashada Nakshatra, Shravan Nakshatra and Dhanishta Nakshatra. Depending on where the Sun is placed, in the first portion of the Capricorn Uttarashada, Sun is Vargottama. So this placement stays the same. Basically in Navamsha also people will have Sun placed in the sign of Capricorn for some of them. And that means this Sun has now gathered Vargottama Bal. Whatever these people will decide, they will make sure that they get those things done. And Saturn usually defines your karma, your profession in modern times. And it is also about what your ancestors have been doing. This is a very particular placement where you will see either they are head of the town, head of the society, head of the company, they own a business and they were creating certain law and order. They were coming out with making sure that how the organization or a community or a particular place will work. Because Saturn defines rules. It is about discipline. It is about the things that you do every day with discipline. And hence you will notice these people sometimes have to take some rash actions. They have to take some actions that are not always favorable. Like it's a war. You have to go on a war. You have to fight somebody. You have to stand up for your rights. And in that position, in modern days, it means if you own a business, you'll have to fire some people. You'll have to probably ask some people that they have not done the right thing, so pay the fine, pay certain amount for whatever wrong things they have done. And this is how this Sun will always work. If you have this Sun placed in the Lagna, it becomes your 8th house Lord placed in the Lagna. That means person with Capricorn Sun in the first house will focus their life on bringing out orderly transformations. For somebody, this Capricorn Sun placed in the 2nd house, you will think about how I can learn through different institutions, and those institutions can be higher education institutions, they can be religious institutions, but it matters to you how orderly, slowly you keep on improving that learning system or educational system, that organization, how they perform best. Those who are not doing well, what kind of rules and regulations you can bring. But it always rewards somebody who is a high performer. If this Sun in Capricorn is placed in the 3rd house, then you will think about how I can talk about my business manager, who will be my business manager, because this is a direct connection of 10th and 3rd. So who is going to be the person who talks about my business, who manages my business, who comes up with different ideas? And you will notice these are the very peculiar placements. Somebody could also be a head of the educational institution here. And you will notice these placements will bring a lot of pressure. You will be asked to work under pressure all the time and still take care of your people, and if needed you need to let some people go. And this is the hard karma, harsh karma that comes with this placement. If this sun is placed in the 4th house, that person will try to bring order in terms of routines, shelters, homes, vehicles, or the way real estate is managed. So you will be in charge of taking care of all the rules, regulations, hiring people, firing people, giving them bonuses, giving them rewards if you are working in the particular areas. And the areas are related to the 4th house. And in terms of giving them higher and higher gains. If you have this Capricorn sun placed in the 5th house, then you will take care of how I can come up with the best gain from the foreign travels, exports, whom I can hire to take care of the business in the foreign land. But this placement will require you to go out of the way and sometimes fight for your people, make sure, bring law and order, and at the same time take a lot of pride in that creativity. Sun is a constant source of energy, so you will have to make sure that you are inspiring the people whom you work with or who you are representing. Because somebody who is going to start from the lowest level and slowly move on to the highest level, highest award, reward position in the hierarchy. Now let us look at the public figures who have this position of Sun in Capricorn. Martin Luther King, 20th of January is the day when whole United States celebrates Martin Luther King Day. And he stood up for his people, for the rights of African Americans in the United States. He dedicated his life and made sure that they are heard, they are noticed, and they have legal rights. He has sun placed in the sign of Uttarashada Nakshatra, Pada 2 in the sign of Capricorn. Michelle Obama, she has sun placed in the sign of Capricorn in the Uttarashada Nakshatra. You also have Shravan Nakshatra in Capricorn sign. Shravan Nakshatra deals with usually languages, linguistics, translation, education, storytelling. What are the traditional stories, folk tales. It will also deal with conservation, banking, because it's the Moon's Nakshatra in the Saturn sign. So usually how to conserve water, how to conserve natural resources, how to bring law and order in terms of food and food processing, food storage. The stories about cultural narratives. This all will be naturally coming to people who have sun placed in the Shravan Nakshatra in the Capricorn sign. Oprah Winfrey, Virginia Woolf, these are the two prominent figures who have sun placed in the sign of Shravan Nakshatra in the Capricorn sign. You will notice if there is a connection of Navamsha with Mercury, then these people will be fluent in talking, writing, in general communication skills, their abilities of speaking various languages. So you may find people in the media industry, film industry, audio, video, visuals kind of industry where communication is very important. Marketing and sales is another area where you will notice people with Sun in Capricorn but Shravan Nakshatra are seen. They are also really good caretakers. So any job where you have to take care of somebody, nourish someone, this is also a great placement. You may be owner of a nursery, play school. You may be owner of the elementary school, or you may be the head of the start as a teacher, as a lecturer, and then get promoted to the principal of that institution. These are really great placements because you know how to work under pressure, you know how to take care of people, and in addition, you also know how to stand up for your own folks. There are certain emergency situations when you are in a caretaking role. You also know how to handle those last minute things. If someone has Sun placed in the Dhanishta Nakshatra, you will notice they are the people who are more into music or sports because they are Mars Nakshatra, and representation usually will be in the sports or anywhere where they have to be the first, be bold, and display their attitude about I can do it. But usually these people have an ability of taking care of others and making sure that for their organization, for their community, or whatever group they are representing, they are slowly taking the whole group in a position where everybody will notice them, because Sun is about getting that attention. Sun is about the unlimited energy, creativity, and you will notice even if this falls in the Saturn band, these people will have that creativity, but they will have to wait, they will have to show patience and consistency in getting noticed. If someone has Sun placed in the 6th house in the Capricorn sign, then you will notice it becomes a focus or center of usually taking care of issues. Problem solving position is usually in the 6th house. Somebody could be a doctor, could be a head of the hospital, could be working for a bank and slowly gets promoted from initial position to the higher position. It becomes even though you will assist somebody consistently, you will still become the center stage person. And depending on who is working with you, you will define how good the institution is. Initially, there will be a slow rise in moving forward because it's a Saturn house falling in the 6th house. So you will have a lot of resistance from the bosses or top figures in the industry. But with consistent work, with making sure that you are working hard and performing under pressure, you will be noticed. If somebody has Capricorn sign in the 7th house, that means you are Cancer ascendant, then you will notice these people are usually reciprocal in relationships. They have very balanced relationships. They will try to figure out lawfully the contracts among relationships, business partnerships. What is the right thing to do? What will give me benefit? What will give me and my people benefit? This is how they will look. So you will talk about this is how we do things. Whenever I'm looking at charts about marriages, and I always notice if Capricorn falls in the 7th house, the person will never say I. They more talk in the language of we. हमारे शादी के बाद ऐसा होगा, हम ऐसा करना चाहते हैं. It's just not about them, it's about two people in the union. Maybe in the partnership, even in the business partnership. That's why Cancer ascendants will always look for a partner who is steady, who is looking for things under long term, and who can bear the pressure of social expectations. Usually family is such that whom you marry is also important because you are marrying in order to keep the family traditions. It can be a orthodox sounding marriage though. I want to make sure that those of you who are looking for modern kind of relationship, this is a placement which will ask for more of a traditional and orthodox kind of partner. Even if you are finding something new in the partner in the beginning, as you get married and the time progresses, you will notice they are more and more traditional. Their values and the way they approach things is really orthodox approach. And you always remember that there are some kind of unconventional things happening, sudden things happening, because this is a 6-8 relationship between the sign Leo and Capricorn. If someone has Sun in Capricorn in the 8th house, then you are trying to manage secret communications. Your job, your role, your profession will be dependent on the secrecy that you can hold. This is a placement where you can be working at a cyber security. You can work with countries' safety and security wing. At the same time, you are in charge of holding secrets for your organization. Documentation, correspondence, speeches, protocols, everything has to be kept secret. It has to have an order, and you can be the in charge of that. Basically, within the organization and in and out of the organization, secret communications is important. And somebody can have a really dramatized way of doing these things depending on other aspects on this placement. You will always notice that your father can be really class conscious, because wherever Capricorn goes and the sign Leo is, the connection between those two, there is that imbalance, and a person will have lot of pressure about what my father will think, what the elders in the family can think. But with a Sun in the 8th house, this person is easily able to camouflage things. If someone has Capricorn Sun in the 9th house, that means 9th house is a house of group activities. It is about your bhagya, and it is about the pilgrimages, it is about the long journeys that you are going to take for whatever reasons you choose. It donates, it's a orderly travel. You will plan, you will organize, and you will make sure that there will be some kind of pressure sometimes that okay, you have to do this. Whenever there is a Capricorn, there is I have to do it. ये करना ही पड़ेगा, otherwise things are not going to work. Or you do this and then you will get further promotion kind of thing. But with the 9th house falling in Capricorn, you will always think about, is this socially acceptable? क्या समाज इसे accept करेगा? For anything that you do, आपके मन में ये विचार आने वाला है. This is a good placement to have in order to follow certain rules and regulations and work in terms of what is acceptable in the society. You want to do many things that are socially acceptable, because we as human beings are part of the society. We want to be part of the society, want to get associated, should be able to relate to what others are doing, and this is a great placement for that. You will always notice people with Sun Capricorn in the 9th house, they will always try to bring the human-centric principles, but in a way that they are socially acceptable. So the person will come about what is the conventional wisdom. It is very conventional because it is socially acceptable. Still, they will have the pressure to be that way. Prominent public figure who has this placement, I remember, is Benjamin Franklin. Now let us look at Surya in the 10th house in the sign of Capricorn. 10th house is about your profession, it is about your career and what public knows about you. It is a pretty much public house. It is a bright focus center in the 10th house where Surya becomes Digbali. So you will be in a commanding role, in a center stage role for whatever you choose. The time you were born, probably your father was already known in the society, in the community, and depending on the aspects on this sun, where it goes in the Navamsha and other strength, you will notice these are dominant placements. It is about the social intelligence that you have. It is the bright center, the light is always there. So there is something that you will be always looked up to. People are watching how you act, how you behave, what actions you take, what karma you do in the society. Pretty much all the actions can be very much public. It is about your fifth lord connection, natural fifth lord connection to the 10th house. People can be really creative. They are good at writing, reading, learning new things. Even mantra chanting will come naturally for this position, and you can accept all these positions, start at a level and slowly progress under pressure. These are the roles where you will be known for doing something for the society, for kids, and in general, this is a really good placement to have. If someone has Sun in Capricorn in the sign in the 11th house, that means all the gains, awards, rewards, that's where this Sun is. But wherever it's the 11th house, there is also natural influence of Rahu. So you will start under pressure, you will work under pressure, you will have some loopholes, some shortcuts, and you will make sure that you get that reward. But try to follow rules and regulations, because this is a placement where it's in the Capricorn sign. Under pressure, there is a chance that you will be caught in terms of breaking the law. So be careful when you do that when Sun is in the 11th house. This will definitely bring you awards and rewards, because this is a bright focus center. But Capricorn is a sign of lawfulness. Never forget this, because this is a placement which might bring some things very fast, but depending on which Mahadasha you are going through, the consequences can be different. But this is a placement where people will create big companies, big organizations, successful organizations, and this will also show generational wealth getting built. You will have to solve problems to get that done. Now, if someone has Capricorn sign in the 12th house, that means you are Aquarius ascendants. Then that Sun is bright in the 12th house. It is really bright, but it is about the king of forest in a way, because 12th house is not seen by everybody. You are the king, but in your own private space. Is that a bad placement? Absolutely not. Your work might demand you to stay away from public. You could be a researcher, you could be working in the lab, you could be a very well-known surgeon or a doctor, medical professional working in your hospital. So your authority, your leadership will be first seen behind the walls in that building, in that particular organization, and it will take time to get the public attention. But you are already successful, you are doing really well, and you have excellent ability to work under pressure. And researchers as well as medical professionals have this. There are many people who have Sun in the 12th house. They can have successful import-export businesses. They can be really great coaches, trainers in their own field, in their own building, in their own authority. They can have a lot of success. And depending on the Mahadasha or the aspects on this planet, somebody can be in a really public role as well. But their leadership will definitely have aspect of doing really well in private spaces. They might be really good in one-on-one communications. Sun in Capricorn is a great placement. Make sure you support people, make sure you follow law, and the great remedy is donate. Help people who need resources. Promote lawful behaviors, because this is what this placement wants from you. You are owner or in charge of certain territory, and that territory can be different depending on the placement and other aspects on this. But you are supposed to bear that pressure, work under pressure, and try to be lawful. Makar Sankranti falls when Sun transits into the sign of Makar Rashi. And depending on the weather where you live, this is a great time to donate things. Eat sesame seeds. They are available in most of countries these days. In Marathi we say तिळगुळ घ्या आणि गोड बोला. Basically you donate everything. Share sweetness, share happiness, share knowledge, share learning with others, and share your resources with others, because Capricorn is an earthy sign. It is about making sure that you are sharing resources, you are building your wealth, and you are lawful about it. We looked at what is the remedy for Capricorn Sun or placements in Capricorn Rashi. We looked at Sun's placement through all 12 houses in the sign of Capricorn. We spoke about Nakshatras that come in the Capricorn sign, that are Uttarashada, Dhanishta and Shravan Nakshatra. And we also spoke about what type of careers these people can have. But they are going to have pressure in their careers, they are going to be noticeable in their careers, and they are naturally born leaders. This, even though they start from a lower position, they will grow in the organization eventually, and you will see these people holding important positions, doing good things for the society. They always care about what others will think. Is this lawful? Will the society benefit from this? Hope most of your questions are answered with this video. If you have any queries, feel free to contact. Thank you for supporting this channel. Namaste. Thank you. Shubhamastu.